Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this week I'm going to show you how I made some Rae Dunn inspired chair cushion covers, chair cushion pads, chair cushions pretty much. Anyway, I showed you a preview of it last week and they're all done now and I'm super happy with how they came out. I think they're amazing. Plus, it's really nice to have a little bit of extra cushion when you're sitting down to dinner. Am I right? As in all of my videos, I'm going to show you the mistakes that I made and the process that I took to get to the finished product. I hope you guys like that format. I know a lot of YouTube videos don't show the entire process. They only show the beautiful, nice process of how they got to it. And I feel personally that when I make a mistake, and I've watched these videos where people just make perfect items every time, that there's something wrong. But everybody makes mistakes. I'm just showing you it just to hopefully save you a little bit of time so you don't make the same mistake. Now, as far as how I came up with it, I'm not going to say that this design is original. It is totally Rae Dunn inspired. I love her pottery. I am going to actually make another video about that subject, probably in the next week or so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let me show you how I made these Rae Dunn inspired chair cushions. So starting out, I took some brown paper that I got from the Dollar Tree. I've used it in other projects as well. And I made a template out of the bottom of my chair. I just pressed my fingers along the edges and trimmed off where the crease was. The fabric that I'm using to cut out the template is a bleached drop cloth. If you want a video tutorial on how I bleach my drop cloths, just let me know and I'll do a tutorial on that. Here you see me cutting out a piece of fabric that's bigger than the template. This is the first attempt at it. I just put 2 pieces of foam in between the pieces of fabric and I just pinned against the foam. Now I didn't end up using this method for all of them. I ended up ripping this out just because I wanted something that was kind of more consistent since I was making 4 of them. So what I ended up doing is I took my pattern piece that I made from the bottom of the chair and I stuck it to another brown piece of paper, and then I measured 1 1/4 inches around the edges. I did this to allow room for the foam as well as my seam allowance. This will change based on how thick your foam is and how much seam allowance you want to do for yourself. Now for the foam, I used a 1 1/4 inch mattress pad from Walmart in a queen size. I just took the pattern piece that I made from the bottom of the chair and I traced around it on top of the foam. You want to do this on the flat side, not the bumpy side. Then I took and I printed out the words that I wanted to use on regular letter size paper. You can do this on Word or Google Docs or whatever program you want to use. I used Illustrator, but I will link similar fonts down in the description box below. So before I printed out the words, I made sure that they were centered on the page. That way I could just fold it in half and fold a piece of fabric in half and line them up and just make sure that the top and bottom were the same distance. Then I just taped it down just to secure it. You want to make sure that the ink side is facing down, so it's gonna look backwards for you. Next, I just took some random Christmas lights that I had and a clear drawer from a Walmart storage container that I had. If you don't have a clear drawer, you can use like a Pyrex glass baking dish or something that's clear and box shaped. Then I just took this amazing fabric pen, I don't know where this has been my whole life, and I set the fabric down and traced where you could see the letters. My one tip here is if you are left-handed like I am, start from the right. If you're right-handed, start from the left. That way your hand does not smear the paint. Now you don't want to do your lines really thick and dark the first time. You might have to do several passes. Next, I took my foam pieces and I did 2 layers of foam just to make it extra cushy, and I wrapped it in batting, and then I just trimmed the excess around the cushion. Then I went ahead and started sewing the ties to tie the cushion to the chair. Next, I'm just cutting the lengths that I need and tucking the one end in just to finish it off. Then I just pinned all of the pieces together, right sides together. And you want to make sure you leave a gap at the top so you can flip it inside out. Next comes the somewhat tedious part. You have to fold the foam down enough to get it through the opening. If you want to leave a bigger opening, you can. I didn't want to hand sew too much, so I left mine a little small, but you definitely can get it in there. You just have to squish it. And then you just want to make sure you smooth it down and make sure the batting doesn't bunch up. Then I just hand sewed the opening shut, and here's what they look like all finished. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys liked this video. I hope you like how they turned out. I realize that they're not perfect and professional looking, but I kind of did that on purpose because the Rae Dunn mugs themselves have character to them and they're not perfect, and these are cushion pads and I wanted them to be comfortable. So if they're a little lumpy, that just means they're more comfortable. At least that's what I'm going with. As always, I hope you guys all have amazing weeks, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!